we are kicking off today crafting.
Yes, it's around the holidays. A cheers. See our cute little. Oh, let me show you my snowman.
So I found these glasses.
They're
Either
so
at a yard
cute.
sale or a thrift store. I can't remember, but they're wine
I will
glasses.
say the base is a little small. It's a little top heavy. So like when I was setting mine here, he's kind of leaning in, and I'm just like, I hope this shit doesn't
Is
fall.
yours? Let me see.
No, I don't think.
I mean, honestly, I usually have them for decor. Oh, this one is a little wobbly.
It's a little tippy.
I might can just file that down. But what they are for our listeners is they're wine glasses, but the stem of them, like mine, is a Christmas tree.
I got a snowman, and then inside the glass is the top of the tree, and then for mine, it's my snowman's hat.
Yes. So they're just unique and cute. I've actually they've always been for decoration, but I thought they'd be cute today.
Oh.
But yeah, so we're going to be chatting about just holiday stuff. Why we craft and try to make. We're using wine corks. Surprise, surprise.
I know. I mean, listen,
We have lots of wine corks.
we have an untapped amount of wine corks, and I mean, don't judge.
Now, some of them were donated.
That's correct.
So we did not consume all of these corks.
But we would for you guys. If we had to, we would. So let's start out by talking about the holidays, some things that we do during the holidays. Maybe what are some faux pas that maybe you've come across, you've done yourself?
'Tis the season to make mistakes.
Yeah.
There's just a lot that goes on in the holidays that kind of gets your emotions up, your energy, and then you crash, or you got so many things that can trip you up.
Right. So have you ever gone to a holiday party and got a little too tipsy, maybe, and embarrassed yourself in some way? I'm probably guilty of that.
So a holiday party.
And not necessarily like an office party. I was never the girl that like made out with my coworker in the back room or whatever. I never did any of that. But there has been a point where I've gone to a party, clearly maybe had too much to drink, and I'm not fallen or puked or anything like that, but maybe said something inappropriate that I would have been like, shit, Denise, you don't even need to rein that in.
So a holiday party where holiday parties have a couple topics. So let's talk about the tipsy part first.
All right.
At a holiday party, I will say, other than like a mom's club holiday party or New Year's Eve, because I've gotten tipsy at New Year's Eve.
That's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no. I think we're talking in the funny sense, like, haha.
Yeah, not like fell downstairs or puked in front of everybody or anything.
Well, we've had people do that, and
we're just not right. We just haven't been on the participant side.
Not for holiday parties. So I will say no, I haven't gone to a lot of like office style or work holiday parties. And when we did go, like when Daniel was still in his socializing phase.
What are you trying to make? Do you even know?
No, I can't do two things at once.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. When Daniel was in his work days.
Well, he was in his socializing days. It was always family parties. So, and I didn't drink back then. I didn't drink till I don't
even know how you got through those parties then.
I don't know, but they were fun. It was military, it was his squad and all that kind of thing. So it was fine.
I think his nose. See, I need a reference. Where's that freaking reindeer? I think I put him. It's okay. I'll just wing it.
No, I think.
And then I put his eyes here, right? Don't you believe?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. How about? Oh, you didn't finish it. Did Daniel do something? He got tipsy? No, it was just family.
We didn't drink back then. Like we really didn't drink when we were going to those kind of events.
Oh, be careful because you can easily burn your fingers on a hot glue gun. Who has had a major burn from a hot glue gun?
Here it is.
So I promise you, everybody. Okay, so I just need the pom-pom
for the
I'm
nose.
not doing so bad. Okay.
No, you got it.
What about, how do you feel about, have you done anything else that would be considered deemed embarrassing? Oh, shit.
At a holiday?
Yeah.
I will say, especially when the kids, because we were always at usually a different base, I would get nervous and anxious, and I'm sure I embarrassed myself, but usually alcohol wasn't involved.
Okay.
I do remember one of the first times I went to a holiday party with spurting out kids.
It's looking good so far.
We were stationed in Texas, and they had a sitter for the people of his group, his squadron, whatever. And I was nervous the whole night because I didn't. It was a grandma or somebody like that watching all the kids,
I get nervous when people
and
are watching their
I
kids.
did not. I was just nervous, and I was awkward. I'm an awkward person, so back especially back then. Now I just roll with it. Oh no, I need these.
Well, okay, so then, and maybe not. I don't know if people would consider this a faux pas. What do you think about regifting presents? Have you ever done that?
Yes, absolutely. If I get something that, especially if I've gone to like one of those white or the
Mm-hmm.
dirty Santa or the white elephant, whatever they're
Right.
called, I
And it's not
will.
necessarily something you would have picked for yourself, and
Right.
somebody stole something better. You're just like, all right.
I have no problems regifting or getting a regifted gift because if I get something that I think like you would love, I would be like, "Ooh, this is great for Denise."
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just. I'm really trying not to hold on to shit that I don't need.
No.
And
And
then,
like you said, if it's something that's not your style, but one of your friends would really enjoy, why not
right.
pass that on instead of stick it in a closet and then it just goes for 10
Yeah.
years and you're not going to use it?
Have you regifted?
I have.
Have you ever regifted to the person who gave it to you?
No, have you?
No,
That would be
I
fucking
have not.
embarrassing.
I um I have not. Um
No, that
what
would be embarrassing though.
so talking about kind of gifts and stuff, as you see we're crafting. I when the kids were little and I used to make things for people. What do you
Yeah.
think about handmade gifts as a gift?
I think especially from grandchildren or kids, you know what I mean? Like I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's adorable, and most grandparents or aunts or uncles or sisters, whatever, I feel like they would think that's adorable and they would cherish that. But I do know some people that are like, I don't want a handmade gift. I want you to spend money and it has to be something that I would enjoy.
And you know what's wild is handmade gifts actually cost a lot of money, no matter
And
what
time
it
and
is.
effort.
Yeah.
It's easy to walk into a store and buy a gift card.
How do we end up with so much glue?
I
Like
mean,
this
that
is
happens.
wild.
It comes with the territory.
Um,
But yeah, I think regifting's fine. And I know I've received a gift that was regifted because it was not my style at all. And they came last minute to like a mom's club event or something, and then and we were doing a gift exchange.
oh
And so they
yeah.
just found whatever random thing they had, and it clearly,
You know what I think is awesome in friend groups when you get together? We used to do this, we haven't done it in a while. There is a gift that makes the rounds. Someone always gets it. Like ours used to be what we called the Twinkie. We're not going to go into what it was,
that's an
but
after dark episode.
yeah, we used to give the Twinkie out for when we would have our events. Somebody would get the Twinkie to take home. I think we should redo that where it's a gift that's so wild. The whole thing is to see who gets it next year.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
should
I
think
mean,
about that. What it could it
mhm.
be?
And we won't mention any names, but somebody took the Twinkie and never passed it on.
Yeah.
So that can happen as well. Um, well, so yeah, I don't think regifting is necessarily a bad thing, honestly.
Me either.
Do you participate in any of the like trends, the holiday trends, like the ugly sweater? Have you ever been to an ugly sweater party, or
Okay, here's the
do you
thing.
own an ugly sweater?
All this time of year, almost every one of my tops is some
I
form
should have
of
worn something
Christmas.
more festive. I did not.
And what I no, I don't. I participate in festive wear. I don't think any Christmas sweater is an ugly sweater. I think that it can be gaudy. It can be, you know, bougie. If it's festive, if it's holiday themed, I'm loving it. So I get the concept of an ugly sweater,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no ugly holiday
Okay.
sweater.
I like ugly sweaters too. Well, they can't be ugly. They can be sparkly. I have one that's got like a llama with all kinds of sequins and the bells and all that. One time I made my own, and I included the little LED lights that you can buy, and they're just like battery operated. And I made my own Christmas tree, and I put all kinds of sparkly pom-poms. So I'm all about some ugly Christmas sweaters, and you can do whatever you want. I will say, we went to a Christmas party one year, and Nick's not into that. He's not much. So I just grabbed him I grabbed him a Christmas sweater. I really ran in. We were gonna be late. Grabbed the first fucking sweater I found.
Oh.
Got home. He puts it on. And it's a red sweater and it's got like white bunnies on it and stuff, but the bunnies were doing each other.
Where did you get it?
I got it at Gabe's. Do you know where that is? It's kind of like a Ross or a Marshall's.
Oh.
Like I literally just, it was on the way home and I ran. He's like, you seriously want me to wear this?
Now, Spencer's has
He did
some
wear it. Everybody
amazing-
thought it was amazing.
Spencer's has some amazing Christmas.
But you're trying to be naughty. That was
Yes.
not my intention.
I definitely think
sometimes
there's
just
a time and a
happens.
place for that, and I like Daniel will participate. He actually has quite a few holiday shirts, and again, I guess this time of year, 90% of the time, I am in some type of holiday top.
Okay,
That's
I
my
like that.
jam. But I do that for Halloween too. I'm
Yeah.
always wearing something.
You always have themed shirts.
I
do like that.
love themed. I love themed things. Period. This is his head. Why is his head so much bigger than his body?
I'm doing a different style.
Yeah, I'm trying to recreate. I don't have all the parts to recreate the one I made years ago, my little wine cork reindeer. So I'm going with what we have. And
Yeah, so you can wing it.
I took more time, but we're trying to do
we're
this
multitasking,
yeah.
which can be detrimental sometimes.
Let's try
But
this.
'tis the season, so we shall. So what do you think about like, have you ever had any type of like travel issues? I don't tend to travel on Christmas.
We used to have to travel a lot on Christmas or during the holidays, because that was what we
like no Home Alone moments where you left your kid behind.
No, thankfully, I think y'all have heard the story of where we lost our luggage, my very first time flying on Christmas Eve. That happened. It was a snowstorm. It was awful, but we've had to drive
Through snowstorms. We have done that during the
Yes.
holidays. Driven through snowstorms
We
where
lived in Jersey and had to drive to Virginia, or we were stationed in Jersey, had to drive to Virginia. And at the time, Alexis was bitty baby, and she hated being in the car, and I would have to stop and nurse her all the time. And it's only like a 4-hour drive, but I don't like to travel during the holidays. Do you?
it's a lot. It's pretty stressful. And now as so yeah, essentially through trial and error, we're like, if you want to spend Christmas with us, then you're gonna come to see us. Because when you have little
Oh.
ones, it's harder to get them. Like, why can't the adults
Yeah.
that don't have 15 diaper bags and all that stuff, they come to you because
So let me ask you, this kind of like leads into it. Do you like to have company during Christmas?
I mean,
Just in general, it could be friends, family. And like, do you like to have people staying in your house during the holidays?
the only people I would have coming is family. And I don't mind hosting. It's just that it's more work. It's not as relaxing, right? You're not really enjoying the holidays per se
Right.
because you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're making sure everybody has what they need, So it's just not as relaxing if you're hosting, but I'm not opposed to hosting.
I will straight up say I do not want people.
Don't fucking come to her
I
house.
don't. Not during Christmas. Like, you can come Christmas night. You can come the day after. I have a big party on New Year's Eve. Come see me New Year's Eve. But Christmas
I'll be
Eve and
there.
Christmas morning,
Mhm.
100%, I want it, me and my family, me and my kids and my husband.
Mhm.
Now, this year is very unique because Brienne, she's been out on her own for a while, and she's been coming home, and her boyfriend Bryce, whom I love, he's like he's my favorite kid. I say that often.
You've said it multiple times.
But I think they are ready to start doing their own Christmas traditions, because the last few years
they phase out.
yeah, they had she would come here on Christmas Eve, and Bryce would go to his mom's on Christmas Eve.
Totally gonna burn my fingers.
I'm burning myself too. This is not. I don't know how I did it last time. Maybe I decorated one before I put it on. That makes more sense.
Do you think his antlers are too long? Should I make them a bit smaller, shorter?
Like, maybe add some curves to them. Antlers
Oh,
are
right, 'cause-
usually straight. Like, add a little bit of
And there's nothing wrong with curves.
Right. Okay, we're gonna scrap this
We
one.
like curves.
I'm gonna start over.
Curves are happy.
Does crafting stress you out?
No, I love crafting.
So
It gives me peace. I mean, if it's not going well, I mean, yours sucks. So look at mine though.
see, that looks much better with a little bend.
I'm not done yet, but he's coming along nicely.
Yeah, when I have to be in the mindset to craft, and we've been talking about this, so I should have been in the mindset for this crafting
Really should
experience.
have because
But I have a plan when I craft, like it's planned
I
out.
usually this is winging it for me for sure.
I think I'm not a good winger. I don't like to wing it with crafting.
I
Any other
understand.
time, I'm down for whatever.
Uh-huh.
But this stresses me out because
Well, I don't want you to
I
be
have
stressed.
a vision, but it's the fun stress of like I'm gonna roll with it, have another prosecco, and
That's what we absolutely should be doing.
yeah.
So, talking about stress and maybe you fucked up, just like I saw that happen right over there. Have you ever messed up Christmas dinner or like the turkey, whatever you have, you overcooked it, something went wrong, you used salt instead of sugar in an ingredient or
nothing
something like that.
Um, this is actually happening. This just happened at Thanksgiving. I was because we normally cater.
You
like
do cater, you're not a cooker.
I haven't cooked for years. With everybody in and out, we just stopped cooking and we just started having the food catered in,
Mm-hmm.
which was super nice.
There's nothing wrong with
this
that.
year we did. Daniel ordered what was it? The Popeyes deep fry. It's not deep fry.
It's like a Cajun. That shit's spicy. I don't know.
It was okay. I don't love turkey. I usually don't even cook a turkey.
I didn't make turkey this year either.
So he said, "I want that," which does come
It's already it's pre-cooked, but you need to reheat it.
And it still took hours. So because we didn't cater like the main protein, I went ahead and cooked all of it.
Shake it off.
I had a spreadsheet of when things went in. Well,
I do. You like your spreadsheets, do.
And I enjoyed cooking. I hadn't cooked in a couple years, but I had to get all my timing right. It was absolutely going great.
Which comes back to the hosting responsibilities.
Which I love that. This was good. This was a good day. However, I had let Shannon Starr, one of our
besties,
and one of our also one of our top fans.
Yes, she is.
Told me this yeast roll recipe years ago, and I had done it years ago, but I was like, oh, let me do it again this year since I'm actually cooking.
You can't fuck around with yeast rolls. You should know that.
Well, I know that they had risen beautifully. They'd been rising for like about 3, maybe 4 hours, and they were beautiful. And I was just getting ready to put them in the oven. I had taken the saran wrap off that I kept, to keep it. And as I'm lifting them to put them in the oven, they collapsed. They were
Did you punch them down?
These you don't, because they are little frozen balls that you just thaw out as everything else is cooking, and they rise for hours. And Shannon, I don't do what you do. I don't do it from scratch. This is as scratch as it's going to get, where I have to monitor them all day.
That's the. It's okay.
But they were beautiful. Everybody was like, "Oh, those," because they were gorgeous. It was rising in the dish. It looked so pretty. Oh. Everybody had commented on them, and then they collapsed.
I hate that.
And it took longer to cook. They were a shit show. My biscuits were a shit show this year. Yeah. That's my most latest crash.
I did have an incident with the yeast roll, my version of the yeast roll, which is you do
yours all day, yeah.
So, but what had happened is it was chilly, and so sometimes if it's too cold in the house or whatever, they won't rise.
In my house, we had no heat.
Yeah, there's no heat. So, so then I put them over by the stove where, so they could get some heat from the stove top. Well, it was a little too hot because once I went back and checked on them, the plastic on the bottom had actually melted into the dough. So at that point I had to pivot, and I just took all of the remaining, like obviously anything that touched the plastic that was melted,
right, you had to scoop them. Yeah.
I severed the tie there, so I didn't have as big of a batch, but it didn't take off that much, so it wasn't the end of the world. But for me to fuck up yeast rolls is like, you can't fuck up. Denise can't fuck up yeast rolls. This is like her main gift,
right? And you look forward to making those all year.
It reminds me of my mom. It's a a tradition that has been passed down for years. So it's kind of like, you know, you kind of have to be a professional this many years in. And this was only like 2 years ago. So I felt like shit, but I was able to recover, which is the good news. But yeah, so that was definitely a faux pas when I almost fucked up the use rules and we weren't gonna, and if we didn't have them, that would have been mortifying to me.
Have you ever made something and forgot to put it out? Like,
Yes.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I it was like a spinach and artichoke dip. It wasn't anything major,
Right.
but the whole Thanksgiving came or Christmas came and went. I was like, I never put out the dip. Like, how do you? But I was
You could have
cooking,
eaten that later too.
Right.
It's not like it was just gone.
Right. So, do you have? I talked about my mom's tradition of the rolls, and we do that every year around. I do it for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I make the rolls honestly any chance I can get.
Yeah.
But so that is definitely a tradition of mine. But do you have any traditions that you do every year that you would never want to exclude because that's part of your family tradition?
You know, we actually talked about and I think you and I have talked about this before. We used to go to Zootastic, this local animal sanctuary.
I've never been there, by the way. I've been to Tiger World and they do some festive stuff, but I have not been to Zootastic.
We've been going there for years. You get your picture taken with, it used to be like a lion cub or something, but now, or a tiger cub, I can't remember. It's mostly a kangaroo. But I will say, we used to do that Christmas Eve and loved it because Daniel usually works Christmas Eve. So we would go, me and the girls would go do this. It's gotten so commercial that it's not the small feel that it used to. It was a very, when we were going, it was
They
very
got too big for their
light.
britches.
It's so commercial now. So we're actually looking for a new place to go,
All
a
right.
new tradition, but we tend to do something Christmas Eve. Um, it's not, I think we might try Kersey Valley. They have a thing going on, or we're gonna go down to Truett Stadium and they have the like ice skating rink, the slides and things like that. It's
Nice. Well, we have the speedway lights up here that's huge, but it's so over commercialized.
And it's so expensive
It
and
is.
the wait is ridiculous.
Yeah, people have ran out of gas just trying to get through it, and it's like 5 hours later and you're still not through it. I'm like, I'm gonna
We
stay
went
home.
the first
We
time,
did too.
the first
when
few
it first
years.
came out, but that was like what, 10 years ago, easily?
It has been a while.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it became very commercial and didn't have the small Christmas feel, like just lights and music. Now it's a big old thing. And I don't know if you remember the first year we went, it actually went from the speedway under the bridge over to the drag strip.
I wasn't part of that.
That was nice. It was spread out. Now it's all only in the speedway. And there's no way you would catch me over there because of the traffic.
Somehow include these red birds with this little scarves.
I thought they were dinosaurs.
They're red birds.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I got you.
I hear you.
But I didn't catch it earlier.
And even if they were dinosaurs, they're fabulous.
No, that's why I was like, "Ooh, those are dinosaurs."
When I find a red bird, you know I'm gonna get it.
Do you have red? Have you cut a red pipe finger yet?
Nope.
All right, I'll cut. I just don't want to cut one if you already cut it.
So yeah, so that was our kind of a and guys, we would love to hear your feedback too. Like, what did you miscook? What did you regift something? Did you accidentally regift it to your person that gave it to you? Because that'd be even more embarrassing. But
Or funny if you do it intentionally, because I think that would be funny.
That could be funny. And so another holiday tradition that I do that I love with my college friends is we always get together and we exchange Christmas ornaments. So it's been so nice because, you know, we've been together for decades. God, I'm not that old, right? So it's just nice to, when you're putting up your Christmas tree, be like, oh, I got that from stuff, or I got that from Terry, you know, every year we get a new ornament. And it's fun to pick out ornaments. So that's kind of our little gifty thing that we do with our college friends. Do you have anything that you do year after year that you
with like a friend group?
Yeah, with a friend group.
I mean, obviously with our mom's club group, we used to have, and this this reminded me of a funny story. Um, and I guess it goes in with the faux pas or something with the holiday parties. I forgot about this. We used to have a holiday party every December with the kids, with the family, and now it's turned into a more
Mom's club.
yeah,
Yeah,
mom's
just the
night in.
moms. Yeah.
But I remember one we had, and we used to have great. They were elaborate. Everybody brought a crowd, or people, people who
And
organized
potluck.
it.
We always do like a
Yeah,
potluck.
but this one year, bless our bestie Eileen is very green. She is the one you want to aspire to be when it comes to saving the planet. Like she's really always on top of it, knows the latest, yada yada. But she would not let us use any disposable paper, any disposable products that
That's
year.
true. We do have to put the
Do you?
plastic in a bin and
We had to wash the dishes. We were at the church downstairs.
oh, for the moms club party. I do remember
Yes,
that.
so everybody else was out there, and then there were a bunch of us in there washing dishes, and it was fine. We actually had a great time because cleanup crew is just as fun.
We
But
cut up.
yeah, exactly. I just remember I always think about that when I host events and I don't use reusable plates. I always think of Eileen. Like she would be so disappointed in me. But other than that, like we do tend to get together. But my actual, I would say this time of year, um, tradition with my friend group is hosting New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I definitely look forward to that every year. What's the theme this year, Cheryl?
Once upon a midlife crisis.
Oh shit, perfect.
Yep. I will have the info going out for that soon so everybody can, because we do tend to like to dress up. I already ordered like the backdrop and
Last year was fabulous because it was like
did we do Roaring Twenties last year?
Roaring 20s, yeah. And I loved dressing up for that in all sequins. So I'm gonna have to get creative with this one about the midlife crisis.
Once upon a time. So it's like, where would Cinderella be midlife? Where would Snow White be? Where's Prince Charming? Does he have all of his hair? Like who does he have a beer belly? That's who we are at this point. We're midlife, we're in our midlife moments. We are living our best lives right now. So
I would say so for
yeah.
sure. I mean, is it perfect? Absolutely not. But
that turned out much better.
That's looking
I know.
way
See, I
better.
just had to take a deep breath and think this
Okay,
through.
well, look at this guy though.
Super cute. Oh, I like how you put the little blingy on that.
Yes, of course. And this
Are
is
you gonna
his
make it an
scarf.
ornament?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick a little thingamabob right there, and he's gonna go on the tree.
That's super cute.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, this is like a little one compared to my other dudes, but I didn't bring out the beads. But I do like the way it turned out.
It is cute. He's got little, very short legs and arms, and that reminds me of somebody else we know.
Me? Yeah.
That's right. And it's adorable, which is also you. Are you not going to give him any eyes?
I was thinking about it, but I think the eyes are too big. What do you think? Do they go there?
No, I think you should do them. The eyes, you need the eyes.
Well, I was gonna put beads on it later. Well, maybe let's see.
All right. Well, I'm not going to force you, but
Well, I'll put it on there. If I don't
think
like
you
it, I
could-
could take it off.
yeah, nothing's permanent.
No.
Nothing a little hot glue gun can't fix.
I have really been crafting a lot more
Look
this
at
Christmas.
glue that I just drug down, and that's his little mouth.
Oh, that's cute.
I didn't even plan for that. Just
Happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say.
I know, I love Bob Ross. Well, so are there any closing statements or anything else you're thinking? Oh, do you have a signature beverage that you make on the holidays? Do you
No,
guys
we
do-
actually try different things. What did we try this last year? I don't know what it was. I can't remember. I wasn't prepared for that question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just threw it out there because I mean I know some people do like them.
Signature drink?
Okay, so well, it's not my signature drink, but back when we used to hang out with Grandpa and stuff, there was a couple drinks. He always liked the God, now I'm not gonna be able to remember because I'm not a liquor drinker, you know what I mean? I
Right.
usually
What was
just-
in it? And I can tell.
So it had like it was called a grasshopper.
Oh.
So it had like
Was it minty?
It had like it had Kahlua and no, it had a harder liquor in it. I suck.
Well, Kahlua
Well,
gets mixed with harder liquor sometimes.
yeah. So anyway, there was a grasshopper, but it had ice cream. And it's very thick.
Oh.
It's a very thick but I think maybe the ice cream absorbs the alcohol. And then there was another one that wasn't minty that was also had ice cream. It was I think
Like an eggnog style?
it wasn't eggnog.
Oh.
Really dropping the ball. I'll have to go back and but it was based around Grandpa because that's what he liked to have them every Christmas Eve. And Christmas Eve was his birthday. He was a
Aw.
December 24th baby. So that was always a nice tradition.
I trying to think. I don't really have a signature drink because I stick with my jam now. Like
I just drink red wine typically.
I white. This is special. This is different. We had mimosas
I'm
today
having a little snack.
because
Once you let the strawberries sit in the prosecco, they are delicious when you eat them.
yeah, but we earned the mimosas today because we took the what was it called? What did we
Bungee fitness.
Bungee fitness. That was a workout.
It was
I don't know why I didn't
It was pretty
expect it to
intense.
be that intense. I expected it to be more like acrobatic fun, but it was work.
Well, right, because you're running and you're jumping and you're doing handstands and you're doing kickbacks and you're dropping to the front and then falling back like what'd she call them? The fall trusts?
Trust fall.
Trust fall? I might be dyslexic.
That has nothing to do with it. It's reading.
Yeah, but I always inverse if it's a phrase, I always put the first one forward and the second one backwards. Anyway, whatever. It's all good. But it was pretty intense and so when you got the routine down, she's like, okay, now that you guys know the moves, you got to do 2 of these, come back, do 2 of these, come back, do 2 of these. So by the end of your routine, you've done like 10 or 12 sets of jumps and kicks and stuff in like maybe a 30-second span. Like you
And
go
that's
from
an intro class, and then we had to do burpees. When she said burpees, I was like, "What?" I thought this was intro, but they were easier to do in the bungee. They
Well,
still
right.
were hard.
I still think mine should have been tethered up one higher because I was pretty low to the ground. Like she did adjust yours, but I feel like I should have had mine adjusted higher as well. Because it gives you a little bit more resistance and you know, anywho.
It was a lot of fun.
I did enjoy the class though.
And she had a great energy about her. Like she was patient with us.
Oh yeah.
But she was encouraging and she was upbeat. Like I really did like her as in general.
Yeah, Get Fit Together in Concord, North Carolina. But they have them all different kinds of places. And the next one we're going to, Cheryl, what are we going to do next?
The aerial one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was hoping that's what we were doing next because I didn't know if you had planned something I didn't know about.
No, it's the aerial yoga one. And
yes.
So you're almost like in this big silk scarf thing and you're doing turns and you can make it into a hammock and good Lord, I hope she's not going to have us do the thing where you're way up high and you have to flip down. We're not at that level.
I would try it, but here's the thing: like we try different things, and I will say, I know y'all have heard us talk about this on here before. We love the Pilates that we do.
Mm-hmm.
We tried something new this month, and we don't love it. I'm gonna be straight. I don't love it.
It is different
It's a dancing style, or it has like we're not gonna name the program because it's no fault of the program.
No, it's just not our bag.
Yeah.
But it comes with a subscription. So anytime you're paying for a subscription, if you're not gonna make yourself go to that, if you're not gonna hold yourself accountable to do that exercise or do that way of, then there's no reason that you should keep the subscription.
And I recommend, because when we were registering, it said,
do you want to do a year?
Yeah, because it was cheaper, and it would have been cheaper, but we both were like hesitant because it was like a Black Friday special or something.
Yeah.
And we were both hesitant because what if we don't like it? I'm so glad we didn't.
I'm so glad we didn't. I'm gonna pop open this other champagne.
Because it's not even one I could make myself attend.
Woo!
Because we have tried other Pilates instructors who we didn't love, but we like the whatever. There's nothing I like about it.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say there was nothing I didn't like about it, but I'm not gonna hop out of bed and be excited to go to that workout. And kind of you need that, right? Not only do you need It's easier when you have an accountability partner, but
Yes.
it's also easy when you look forward to. And with the Pilates, you could definitely, not that we're changing this into a fitness,
I know, we're just
Oh.
all over the place. It's what we've been
but
doing
I
lately.
could see the results more quickly. And that's going to make you
Okay.
more apt to work out if you're seeing faster results, correct? Here,
Yeah.
cheers. Love you,
I
babe.
like it so much better without the juice. We just need to skip. We don't even care for mimosas. We want fruit and prosecco.
That's right. And the strawberry gives it such a lovely flavor after the strawberries have been sitting in there, just sweet enough to.
Yeah, because I think the juice is too sweet.
Yeah.
It's not my jam. Although it's late in the afternoon, it's not like we're drinking mimosas in the
No,
morning.
I mean, and if we were, then don't judge us.
I don't want juice. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm just gonna skip it. I bought it strictly for today because I don't even have juice in the house.
Right.
And it makes it look pretty though because of the color.
It does. Do you remember when we were on the cruise and I was like, I'll have Prosecco with a splash of cranberry. And he's like, that's interesting. He's like, so the cranberry, you like the flavor? I was like, no, it just makes it like a blush color and makes me feel healthier.
Yeah.
He's like, I like the way you think. So,
All right. Well,
with that being said, I'm very happy with how my reindeer ornament turned out.
I am too. With my little guy.
I know you can't see it right now because
We'll have to take a picture and post it too.
Right, we'll post it, but I think they could be friends.
I know, right?
Yes. And if you haven't tried your hand at wine cork reindeer ornaments, I would highly suggest it because they're not hard. As you see, we've done this in like the 20 whatever minutes this podcast is, and
It took us longer to set up all this stuff to figure out than it did to make the craft. But it was fun.
And
Once
we'll
I took a
have
breath.
this memory when I see this little guy on my tree,
Right.
I'm gonna remember today and that we did a podcast and that we have such a happy life.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a great week and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and spend time together and make holiday memories. And always, guys, you can go to the Suitcase Divas website, suitcasedivas.com.
Mhm.
And there's always places for you to share stories or comments. And you can find us on our Facebook. And you would always love to hear from you guys. So if you have any stories that were hilarious that happened to you or any kind of re-gifting issue or
Clark Griswold moments. Did your lights go out after you put them all up? How many times has that happened when you put them up? Oh, well, most people have pre-lit trees. I don't. Is your tree pre-lit?
It was pre-lit and it still is pre-lit, but it's so old that some of them just flaked out.
So you had to add light.
Yeah, I added a new LED purple strand because my tree did not have purple, and that's my favorite color, and I love the way it looks on the tree. It makes me happy to have the LED purple lights on there. So with that, I think that we could wrap up this episode. We hope you guys have an amazing holiday, and we'd love to hear about your traditions and y'all be safe, be well, happy travels, and we'll see you guys again next time. Cheers.
Bye, guys.